In 2019, Miami announced they were building a new bridge. Budget $82 million. Timeline years. Simple enough, right? Well, December 2025 now, and that bridge still not done. Not even close. They've only managed to finish 2 out of 6 arches. The price tag has blown up to $866 million. That's more than 10 times the original estimate, and they're now saying it won't open until 2029. A full decade to build one bridge. But here's where it gets interesting. Before any concrete was poured, engineers had to fight Florida officials to use a construction technique the state blacklisted in the 1980s after a project went horribly wrong. So what's the story here? Why is one bridge eating up nearly $1 billion while similar projects cost a fraction of that? And the big question everyone's asking, will this actually solve Miami's traffic crisis? Or are we watching one of the most expensive construction failures in American history unfold in slow motion? Let's dig into this. Miami's traffic mess. To understand why this bridge matters, we need to go back to 1971. That's when Interstate 395 opened, a short highway connecting downtown Miami to Miami Beach and the massive Port of Miami. This road became absolutely critical. Within months, it was handling over 450,000 vehicles daily. That's more traffic than some entire cities see. But here's the mistake they made back then. They only built 2 lanes going each way, 4 lanes total. For context, the average American interstate has at least 6 lanes, sometimes 8 or 10 in major cities. Miami got 4, for nearly 500,000 vehicles every single day. It was a mess from the beginning, but nobody did anything about it. By the 1990s, this stretch of highway was basically a parking lot during rush hour, bumper to bumper, every single day. And we're sitting here in December 2025, and guess what? Still just 4 lanes. Still causing nightmarish traffic jams for over 500,000 vehicles daily now. People have been sitting in that traffic for over 30 years. Breaking point. By the early 2000s, it wasn't just about traffic anymore. The highway was literally crumbling, concrete chunks falling off, steel reinforcement rusting through, dangerous potholes everywhere. This wasn't just inconvenient, it was becoming a public safety hazard. In 2010, the Florida Department of Transportation finally announced they were going to do a major overhaul. Now, they had 2 options. Option 1, do the boring thing, widen the highway, add a couple lanes, fix the concrete, done. Would have cost maybe $200 to $300 million. Could have been finished by now. Option 2, go big, build something that would make international headlines, create a landmark that tourists would come to see. They chose option 2. In 2015, Florida hired Donald McDonald Architects, famous for designing part of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge, to create something spectacular. What they designed was called the Fountain. 6 massive arches inspired by water flowing from a fountain, representing Miami's connection to the ocean and its identity as this place where cultures from all over the world come together. The initial estimate, $600 million. But as engineers started actually figuring out how to build this thing, reality set in. By the time they awarded the construction contract in April 2018, the price was $82 million. The design challenge. Before construction could start, the team faced a massive question. How do you actually pull this off? This wasn't just an artistic concept. It was an engineering nightmare that required solving problems nobody had dealt with before. Let me break down the complexity. 6 arches, 6 problems. Why 6 arches instead of one big support tower like most bridges? Reason 1. Construction logistics. The bridge spans 1,025 feet across Biscayne Boulevard and Northeast 2nd Avenue, 2 of Miami's busiest roads. You can't just shut them down for years. The economic impact would be devastating. So they designed it in phases. Build 4 arches for westbound traffic first, open those lanes, then build 2 arches for eastbound, while traffic flows on the completed side. Smart, but complicated. Reason 2. Structural complexity. These aren't uniform arches. Each one is completely different. Some span 300 feet, others stretch 650 feet. Heights range from 180 feet to 330 feet. That's taller than a 30-story building. All 6 converge at one massive central pier, and each carries wildly different loads. Every single arch needed its own custom engineering calculations. Reason 3. The symbolic message. The 6 arches spring from that center point like water streaming from a fountain, representing Miami as this place where different communities come together. It's poetic, it's beautiful. It's also incredibly expensive to build. The design adds 3 lanes in each direction, a 50% increase in capacity. The sticker shock. Let's talk numbers. The total I-395 reconstruction, including the bridge, 1.4 miles of highway upgrades, and all the connector ramps, costs $866 million. The bridge itself and its immediate area, about $556 million. To give you perspective on how insane that is, regular Florida highway bridges built in the late 1990s and early 2000s cost around $86 to $112 per square foot. Fancy cable-stayed bridges with architectural features, $450 to $1,200 per square foot. This project is pushing the upper end of that range. Why so expensive? Point 1. Customization. Most bridges are standardized, precast concrete segments that can be mass-produced in a factory. This bridge has 345 segments, and almost every single one is custom designed and custom built. Each piece weighs 90 tons and costs a fortune to produce. Point 2. Location, location, location. Building over active roads means almost all construction happens at night when traffic is lighter. Night work pays premium wages. Everything takes longer. Productivity drops by 30 to 40%. Point 3. The perfect storm. COVID-19 hit in 2020, causing massive supply chain disruptions. Custom components that normally took 8 weeks to arrive took 36 weeks. Miami's hurricane season forces regular work stoppages. You can't have a 90-ton concrete segment dangling in the air when 100-mile-per-hour winds are rolling in. Add in inflation and rising material costs, and you get from $600 million in 2015 to $866 million today. The foundation battle. Construction officially kicked off in April 2019, with completion scheduled for 2024. But before building those arches, they had to solve a major problem. Miami's soil couldn't handle the bridge's weight using standard-driven concrete piles, Florida's favorite foundation method for over 50 years. Those piles work fine for normal bridges, but this bridge has massive concentrated loads at that central pier. Standard piles would literally sink into the ground over time. Engineers proposed using auger cast piles, a different technique where you drill a hollow shaft deep into the ground, then pump high-strength concrete through it as you pull the drill out. Result? Stronger, more stable foundations that can handle extreme loads. Sounds good, right? Except Florida banned this method in the early 1980s after a contractor screwed up a project and caused major structural issues. The state said, never again. Engineers had to spend months convincing FDOT to lift the ban for this project. They brought in Keller, a foundation contractor that had successfully used auger cast piles in over 1,000 structures throughout Miami with 0 failures. Eventually, Florida agreed, reluctantly. The solution required over 2,000 auger cast piles, each 3 feet in diameter, and drilled up to 134 feet deep into solid bedrock. Today, those piles anchor a central pier containing 5,000 cubic yards of concrete, enough to fill 2 Olympic swimming pools, and 1.7 million pounds of steel reinforcement. They even installed embedded sensors to monitor the bridge's structural health in real time. But the foundation was just the beginning. The real nightmare? Assembling the arches. Playing with gravity. With foundations complete, construction crews faced the project's most dangerous phase, installing 345 precast concrete segments, each weighing 90 tons. Here's what that process looks like. Segments arrive by truck. Massive cranes lift them high into the air, sometimes 300 plus feet, in the middle of the night, and then position them with millimeter precision over live traffic flowing underneath. Think about that for a second. A 90-ton concrete block suspended hundreds of feet in the air, directly above cars traveling at highway speeds. One equipment failure, one miscalculation, one strong wind gust at the wrong moment, and you've got a catastrophic disaster. These segments connect using post-tensioning cables, steel tendons pulled incredibly tight to compress the concrete and hold everything together. If the alignment is off even by a few millimeters, the cables won't tension properly. The arch's structural integrity gets compromised. At that point, you have to disassemble everything and start over. That adds months to the schedule and millions to the cost. To achieve this precision, crews use GPS-guided positioning systems and laser alignment tools, working slowly and methodically through the night. As of December 2025, only 2 arches are fully complete, with a third arch about 70% done. This painstaking process, combined with COVID shutdowns, supply delays, and hurricane season interruptions, has stretched what should have been a 5-year project into a 10-year marathon. The official opening date? Late 2029. But if you've been paying attention to this project, you know that deadline is probably optimistic. Was it worth it? This project made a lot of big promises. Faster hurricane evacuations for Miami Beach residents, a 33-acre park and heritage trail underneath the bridge, reconnecting Overtown, a historically black neighborhood that the original I-395 tore apart in the 1970s, and obviously, reducing traffic congestion with that 50% capacity increase. If those promises deliver, maybe this becomes worth it. But critics point out that $866 million could have built a light rail system that would have taken way more cars off the road. Supporters say this bridge will become an iconic landmark, Miami's answer to San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge. One thing's certain, this will be Florida's first highway bridge built using auger cast pile foundations. That's history, for better or worse. The real question is simple. Will this become a symbol of Miami's ambition and innovation, or a cautionary tale about what happens when ambition outpaces reality? 2029 will give us the answer. So what's your take? Brilliant investment or colossal waste of money? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm seriously curious what you all think about this. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most expensive construction projects, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel, because in the next video, we're exploring a building so ridiculously thin, it looks like one strong wind could snap it in half. A skyscraper that shouldn't exist, but does anyway. Trust me, you won't believe what engineers pulled off. See you there.